Welcome back to Live Young Diecast. I'm your host, Chips McGee, and this is the Diecast Euro Cup Porsche Series Semifinals. We've got two groups of semifinalists for you tonight. The top two will advance from each group, and that will be our four finalists heading into next week's 8-lap race. All right, let's meet these drivers. Up first is number 36, Sean DeLong from Code 3 Motorsports. He's in the 993 GT2, weighing 69 grams. Up next is number 32, that's Steve Stevenson from Chaos Canyon Racing. He's in the 944 Turbo, weighing 44 grams. All right, it's Bay City Darrell from Bay City Diecast. He's in the number 48 Panamera Turbo S, weighing 68 grams. And last up is Storm Racer in the number 10 Porsche 959 at 70 grams. He's from Tex 10 Racing. And that is your first group of the semifinals. Storm Racer in pole position, and that is Sean DeLong up front with him. Bay City Darrell and Steve Stevenson in the rear for race one. And Sean and Bay City Darrell coming in hot from the outside, and they are going to fight for it at the finish line. We'll take a look at the finish cam here in a moment and see who got that win. It's either Sean DeLong or Bay City Darrell for first and second. Look at these guys come out blowing fast from the outside lane. Steve Stevenson and Storm Racer struggling back there from the inside lanes. Here's our finish cam. We'll see who got this. I see a laser beam on Bay City Darrell. We'll have to freeze frame it, and that is Darrell for the win. Sean takes second, and that's Storm Racer for third. Steve Stevenson coming in fourth for race one. And into race two, Sean DeLong slides over into pole position. Bay City Darrell slides up front. Storm Racer and Steve in the rear. And again, Bay City Darrell and Sean DeLong are just pushing the throttle. And this is all Bay City Darrell for lap two. That is 2 wins in a row. Both laps about a 7.2-ish. Still haven't broken that sub-7 time yet in the series. That's a beautiful run from Bay City Darrell. Really smooth and balanced. Take a look at the finish cam here as Bay City Darrell comes through. Sean and Steve for second and third. Storm Racer for fourth. And that's Darrell with 10 in the lead. Steve and Storm are tied for 3. Sean close behind with 6. Heading into race 3. This time Bay City Darrell in pole position. Steve Stevenson is up front with him. Darrell's going to be looking for win number 3 here. We only had one driver flip, sweep a group. And Darrell, strong, hanging on to this one. Sean looking for it. He's going to get a pass here. A nice overtake from Sean DeLong, again with a 7.2 on the lap. That was gorgeous. I'm pretty sure he got that. We'll take a look at the finish cam and confirm. But this was all Darrell, and he just slides over, gets a little squirrely off the wall, and Sean takes advantage. Storm Racer getting into fourth here after some contact from Steve Stevenson, or he makes contact with Steve Stevenson. Looks like he was on track for third anyway, and that is Sean DeLong taking that win. Gorgeous overtake from Sean DeLong. And Darrell with 13, Sean with 11, Steve with 5, and Storm Racer with 4. This is looking good for Bay City Darrell and Sean DeLong. This time, race 4, Steve Stevenson is in pole position. Storm Racer's up front. This is a shot for Steve to take a win. Storm Racer and Sean fall in behind. Darrell's pushing. He spins out. Steve gets an assist from Storm Racer to correct, and he will take his win, earning 5 points. That's a 7.65 on the clock, and That's going to leave Sean DeLong sitting on the rails, but it won't matter. Pretty sure he's going to go through to the finals. Steve Stevenson gets on the rail there a little bit, gets pushed over by Bay City Daryl, who gets on the rail himself. And right there on the left, Sean and Daryl get sideways. And somehow Bay City Daryl escapes that for 2 points and leaves Sean DeLong sitting on the rail, banging on the dashboard with all the lights flashing. And that's Bay City Daryl and Sean DeLong going through 15 and 11. We say goodbye to Steve Stevenson and Storm Racer. Thanks so much, guys. And this is our second group of the semifinals. Here we go. Here we have Doc in the number 51 car. That's a Carrera GT weighing 70 grams. He's from Doc's Speed Shop. Next up is number 81. That's Flip in the 1971 Porsche 911 at 68 grams from Flip's Racing. And it's Mr. Dark in the number 13 Taycan Turbo S weighing 64 grams. That's Dubious Diecast Racing. And last up is number 1. That's Sam Hall from DRT3K Racing. He's in the Porsche 935 at 65 grams. And here we go. It's race 1. That is Mr. Dark on the outside, up front, and that's Doc in pole position. Sam Hall and Flip in the rear for race 1. Doc's out with a nice, steady lead, getting some push from Sam, but he'll get passed by Mr. Dark, who comes through for second, and that is third to Sam. And a sub-7 time. That is a 6.9828, our first sub-7 time of the series. Finally got there. What a beautiful overtake from Mr. Dark on the Vista jump. That's Doc for the win with that sub-7 time. Take a look at the finish cam here. Flip coming in 4th on race 1, and that's a win to Doc with 5. He sits in the lead. And race 2, Mr. Dark in pole position. Flip is up front with him. That's Doc and Sam Hall in the rear. This is still anybody's race here. And it's a nice steady lead from Mr. Dark. Flip looking to pass, and he's blocked out by Mr. Dark. That is some great defensive driving. Flip will hang on for second behind Mr. Dark. And a nice little handbrake stop from Mr. Dark. Take a look at the replay here. Flip comes around the outside, gets some speed, looks for that overtake, and it's a great spot to do it. That's where it always happens. And Mr. Dark holds him off. Doc will take 3rd, Sam Hall will take 4th, and a 7.5 on the clock for Mr. Dark. Just 1 lap with a sub-7 time going to Doc. So after 2, Mr. Dark in the lead with 8, Doc's close behind with 7. And here we go, race 3. This is Flip in pole position. Sam Hall is up front. And the group is pretty tight here. Flip pulling away a bit. Dark closing. Can he get a pass here? No, Flip holds him off. And that will be Flip for the win. A 7.00, his closest run to a sub-7. Flip getting away here on the Vista. Mr. Dark closing. Almost a chance for an overtake there. Won't get it. And it's Doc for 3rd and Sam Hall for 4th. Starting to see a couple drivers emerge here. This is 11 to Mr. Dark. He just needs to finish. Sam Hall needs a miracle. He needs a triple DNF, and he needs a win. Flip and Doc are going to be fighting for 1st and 2nd. This is going to be really intense here on lap 4. And Sam Hall has pole position, so a little closer to the miracle he needs. Halfway there, and we're off. That is Doc up front with Sam on the outside. And Flip is looking to close. No DNF, but Sam will get his 5-point win. Unfortunately, that will put him out of it. And that's a sub-7 time from Sam Hall as well. A little too late for that kind of speed, but a beautiful run nonetheless. And that will be Flip for 2nd. I'll look at the finish cam here real quick. Dark did get his finish, so that's 12, and Flip took second. That puts him at 12, and he will advance with Mr. Dark into the final. And a fond farewell to Sam Hall and Doc. Thanks so much, fellas. All right, you're looking at the 4 finalists. That's Bay City Daryl, Sean DeLong, Flip, and Mr. Dark. They will be heading into an 8-lap intense racing event final to wrap up the Porsche series of the Diecast Euro Cup. So we'll see you next week. We thank you for joining us here on the Deep Eddy Raceway. We thank you very much for watching, and we hope you like, subscribe, and share. And as always, remember, live young, Diecast.